Hello guys, Melindono back here with another video presenting you Marcel D. Teets, aka Blackbeard, and in this video we will go in an in-depth guide about this new leader in OP09. I have played plenty of games the past few days, and I think that this is the deck list that is really solid. I have also other variants of this leader, but I think that this deck list is a good one. It's a good one and can also perform great in tournaments, online and offline regionals. This video we will go first through the list here in the simulator, then I will show you a small presentation and in-depth analysis on how to play this deck, when you need to do what, and as a final note we will just check 3 random games that I played like 30 minutes ago. Unfortunately all of my matches were against the same leader, but it's a new leader, the OP09, so we will also see the full potential of this deck in action. Press with me and let's do it. So to the deck, the leader, first of all, the leader is the Marcel D. Teets. Your own play abilities do not activate. That means that you can play cards like Gecko Moria or any card that has the own play on it. However, you can play the activate main cards like Laboon, like Jack, and so on. And you have the activate main ability. You may trust 1 card from your hand, and until the end of the opponent's next turn, your opponent's own play abilities do not activate. So that means that if we search here in the simulator, you can see that there are so many cards which have on play effects like this one, and so on play effects. And if you activate your ability, if you trust 1 card and activate your ability, all these cards on your opponent's turn are like vanilla cards. That means that these on play abilities do not get activated. Let's go to the list. We'll start with Lafitte. Lafitte is your main searcher. You just rest this character and then you search the top 5 cards of your deck. You grab 1 Blackbeard Pirates card, and the rest of the cards you put them in the bottom of your deck. So it's a card that it's not officially but unofficially blocker, because your opponent needs to get rid of this card, because it's not an on-play ability, it's an activate main. That means that every single turn you can activate main and get 1 card for free from your deck. The stage, as in also, it's like you trust 1 card from your hand, then you look at the 3 top cards of your deck, you grab 1 card and then you bottom deck the rest. This card helps you build up your trust by trusting 1 card, and also you search for the pieces of your puzzle in order to proceed with your game. And what the main difference is between this card and this card is that this card is like a safe option, because if you hit, for example, a 10 cost Teets in this search, he will go to the bottom of your deck, and eventually he will come up at some point. But if you hit him with this is my age, and this is the next card that I will talk about, then he goes to the trash. Now the next card, this is my age, it's like the stage, but with the difference that you grab 1 card, you search the top 3, you grab 1 card, and the rest of the cards they go to your graveyard. That has plus and minus. So the pros are that you build up your trust, and you need your trust you need to build up your trust for characters like Burgess, and you can also grab one card that you need. But the downside is that if you hit, for example, 2 10-cost Blackbeards, and you grab one of them, the other one goes to the trash, and he will not come up eventually because he remains in the trash. You don't have any means of bringing back a 10-cost black card from your graveyard at the moment, at the current OP. Speaking of which, now let's go to the Jesus Burgess. Jesus Burgess is one of your main cards and one of your finishers, along with Blackbeard with 10-cost muscle DTs, because he cannot be KO'd by your opponent effects, which is really awesome. So your opponents can't get rid of this card, only blue decks by bottom taking this, or let's say that there are also some cards who trust the card, do not KO but trust the card. But other than that, the rest of the KO cards can do a thing to this beautiful Jesus Burgess. And what he does is, if your leader has a Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gets plus 1000 power for every 4 cards in your trust, and that's the main reason why you need to build up your trust. Because at some point, and you will see that in the videos, in the games that we have at the end of this video, this card gets so powerful that your opponent can't do anything about it, and it's a perfect card as a finisher. Let's go further to the cards. You have some cards for defense. These cards are mainly your blocker, your Vasco swords, which can be combined in, like, let's say that you are on the 9 dawn and you can't play Martial DTs yet. You can combine it with some cards here or with Jack, and you establish a blocker along with other cards. He can save your ass sometimes, and he has also 1k counter. His Blackbeard Pirates card, that means that he's searchable. Then you have Siriu. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but something like that. This is mainly 2k. You will not play this card. You will, let me say, rarely play this card as it is. Most of the times you will either use this card as a 2k or you will recycle this card. So you will trust this card in order to activate your leader's ability. Another 2k, which is also being used mainly to do a -2 and also to recycle your hand, is Stronger. Stronger is a great card if you ask me, because like I said, it's an activated main. You trust one card from your hand, then you give -2 to a character of your opponent, and you can combine this with Doc Q and with your events in order to get rid of a card of your opponent, and you also get to recycle one card. So you draw one card. That means you trust one card that you might not need at the moment, and then you trust one. You draw one card from your deck. For example, let's say that you have already played a stage and you have another stage in your hand. You can play Stronger, trust the extra stage on your hand, give a -2 to an opponent's character, and then throw another card, which might be a 2k or a card that you might need at that point, like a 10-cost Teats or something like that. Now let's go to another character that give another character that give minus. That's the Van Agur. Also a great card, also great body, 5-cost 6k, and not that easy to be removed from your opponent. You can activate main, rest him and give -3 to an opponent, and combine it with other cards. KO your opponent's cards like Doc or your events, or you can also attack with him. And if he dies from your your opponent. Then you also get to draw a card, which is really awesome. Jack, you know Jack from the previous OP, 7 cost, 8k, really hard to get rid of from your opponent. You can also activate main and KO a 3 cost or lower character from your opponent, or you can also attack with him. He's a mid-range card, which is awesome if you manage to play this card. If not, you can always trust this card to activate your leader's ability, or to recycle it through stronger or another card of yours, like States or something like that. Laboon is also great. Activate main, you rest this character and then you give up -4 to an opponent. You combine it with your dog queue or with an event that KOs things. Speaking of which, let's go to the dog queue. Dog queue is also activate main, you rest this character, then you KO one opponent with a cost of 1 or lower. That means that if you have a Laboon in play and an opponent of, let's say, 5 cost, you activate main the Laboon for 4 cost. Now your opponent has 1 cost, and then you can rest your dog queue and KO with this card. If your opponent decides to get rid of this card, you also get to draw a card, because you can see here on KO draw a card, which is amazing, because this deck struggles with cards and you need to manage your cards really good. And each card that has as an effect on KO draw a card is perfect for this deck. The 3 last cards are the 2 events. You know Sigan also from the previous OPs. It's a great card for this deck because you KO one opponent with 5 cost or less, and you can also combine it with cards like Laboon, like Van Agur and so on. So you can also KO cards that cost more than 5, and you also get to trust the top 2 cards of your deck. That means that you keep building your trust, and you keep building your trust to make your Jesus burgers stronger. Another removal is the Liberation or Black Hole, which is also great because it negates also the effects of your opponent's card. That means that if you have an opponent that says that cannot be KO'd by effects on this turn, this card negates this and KOs the card anyway. It's a great card. And the last card is your final boss, your big boss, your Marshal Teach, which is blocker, 10 cost, 12k. Really hard to get rid of. And on play also activate main if the card is has been played on this turn. Then you negate the effect of your leader for the rest of the turn, and also you can choose an opponent card, an opponent character, and this character cannot attack you on the next turn. So this is pretty much it, the deck list. I'm pretty happy with the deck list at the moment. I also try new things, try some other things in other variations of this deck, but at the moment this is my main list, and let's talk a little bit more about the list. So Marshal Teach is the leader, like we said. Your own play effects, once more, your own play effects are negated. You can't activate any on play effects. And what he does is you trust one card, and then on the next turn your opponent can't activate any on play effects from his cards. Now let's see again the cards. So the starter cards of your deck is a Lafitte, Tokyo. This is my aids and your states. You mainly want to play on your 1 to 3 dawn these cards here. Best case scenario is that you manage to establish a Doku or a Lafitte to search, and if you have a Doku and your opponent plays any card, then when you're at the 4 or 5 dawn you can play a Laboon or a Van Agur, or even a stronger which costs only one don. Do a minus to your opponent's character, and then you finish this character with dock Q. If you have also established at the mid-range one of these characters, there are two beneficial parts. The first one is that you have a body, and you need bodies. And the second one is that you can also play on your 7 cost, on your 7 don, the 7 cost Jack, and you can minus an opponent character with these cards, and then you can KO him with Jack. Jack is also hard to be removed from the field. You can use him also on your next turn, or even attack with him and continue establishing your board. The events and removals that you have are these two cards. Chicken is also a trigger, and it's great. You can also see it in a game in the end of the video that it gets popped up, and then I managed to also KO for free an opponent's character. This card has also a trigger, but it's not that strong in my opinion, because it just negates the effects of up onto one of your opponent's leaders or characters during this turn. That means during the turn that he's playing. Then you have for your defense, the main cards for your defense are Siriu and Vascosot. Vascosot is a blocker, and Siriu, and of course also Stronger is a 2k and can also be used as a 2k, or of course your final boss Marshal Ditich, who is also a blocker. So let's go now to the finishers. Your finishers are the Jesus Burgers, because he cannot be KO'd by effects, and for every 4 cards in your trash he gains plus 1k power. And of course your Marshal Ditich, which is a blocker, and he negates the ability of your opponent's leader, and also freezes one of your opponent's character for the next turn. Now let's see how you play this deck if you go first. So you always prefer to go second, because you manage to establish a better board, and also you come a little bit faster to your 10 don, to your Marshal Ditich. But let's see if you go first. So if you're on an odd curve, on your first don, the best case scenario is that you can play a Lafitte. If you don't have Lafitte, then you can play one of these two cards. So this is my aids. You can start building your trust, or states to start building your trust and to search the first 3 cards of your deck. On your 3 don, best case scenario, you can play a dock Q and prepare everything for your next turn, so that you can KO things, or you can always KO if your opponent plays an 1-cost character and you have, let's say, another dock Q in your hand. You can also KO your opponent's 1-cost character, because don't forget that the opponent will attack this card. That means that he's like a blocker, so you won't lose any life at this turn, and you also get to draw a card when he's being KO'd. And on your next turn, you can probably play Stronger and the dock Q and KO something. So if you have established a dock Q on your 5 don turn, you play a Van Anchor to do a -3 and have strong body on your field, and also be able to draw a card when he's KO'd, or a Laboon -2k, -4k, -4 cost, and KO something with dock Q. Or if you don't have anything of this, it happens, you can also play Jesus Burgers, or if you, as last resort, if you think that there's something that it's really dangerous for you, then you can remove it now with the 2 events. On the 7 don curve, you can play your Jack straight away, or you can also the combination of, let's say, a Laboon -4 cost plus a dock Q, or Van Angur plus a dog Q and KO something. On your 9 down curve, you can play Jack and Stronger, and you have +1 down, so you can also play 2 Strongers and a Jack if you want, or you can also do a combination of dog Q plus removals, or if there is something dangerous and you can't get rid of it with establishing a body, which is always preferred, then you can KO it with your events. And on your 10 down curve, you play your martial teach and you start pressing your opponent really hard. For the even curve, so if you go second, if you manage to go second, which is always preferred, then you start with a dog Q. This is the best case scenario, dog Q, and on your next turn, Laboon, and you KO something with the dog Q. So this is the perfect combination if you manage to do that. You also have alternatives if you don't hit this combination, like Lafitte, this is my age, or the stage on your first turn, and on your second turn you can establish, let's say, a dog Q and also KO something with Stronger, or establish a dog Q and do some search, or establish a Laboon and wait for the next turn to play dog Q. On your 6 turn curve, if you have a dog Q, you can play Van Angur to establish a body and KO something. You can do the combination of Laboon and dog Q. It costs exactly 6 ton. You can play your Jesus Burgers and combine it with something. And if you don't have any of these combinations and you need to get rid of something of your opponent, then you can also use your Stronger with your removals. On the 8 on curve, you can play eventually Stronger and Jack, and you can KO something that costs 5 or less. Or you can also play your dog Q and combine him with something else that brings removal here. And on your 10 on curve, of course, you play your martial teach. Now about your leader's ability. When do you use your leader's ability? That depends. That depends on the opponent's deck. So you need to know what your opponent plays, when he needs and wants to play something with that has an on-play effect on it, and then use the leader's ability, trash a card, and negate his on-play effects. Normally you do it after the second turn. On some decks maybe also later, and on some decks like Doffy, if you go first and you think that when he's on his 4-down that he will Chimby you and flood the field extremely fast and so on, you can also use it before he does that. So it's like really on your personal view. But like I said, you need to know your opponents, you need to know how your opponents play, and then adapt to this play style and learn how and when to use the leader's ability. So without further ado, let's go to the 3 games and see that in action. We play here with a Mangi D. Luffy from the new set. On the first hand, we hit this combination, so he manages to he wants to start, so we go second. This is perfect for us. He plays his slow one on cost low and he draws a Zoro, 3-cost Zoro, and we know that he will play the Zoro on the next turn. We have 2 down and this card, so we are on a spot that we don't have any dog queue, so we search, we grab our dog queue, and then we establish our searcher. Then he plays his Zoro. We have expected that, and then he attacks with 7, which we take, of course, because we need cards and we we stay healthy. I think that you can also stay with 1 or 2 life. It's pretty healthy. Now we draw our second 10 cost Blackbeard, and we face now his Zoro and his Law. And like I mentioned also before, we don't care about his life at this moment. Our main goal is to clear the board. This is our main goal, and now we can check how can we do this in this turn. So first we search something, and we grab it, okay, because we don't have anything better. And then we attach one Dawn to our leader. We attack him. He decides, okay, I have only 4 life, so I will defend myself here. And then we have 2 Dawn, and we say, okay, now we will establish our docu. Now he's at 6 Dawn. I didn't black hole him. There was a gamble here that I lost, because I was like, okay, I might stay greedy here and think that you don't want to activate any on-play abilities at the moment. But he did. He played the Sanji, and he KO'd my Searcher, which was a mistake if you ask me. He should have KO'd my docu and then attack my Searcher, but at his mind he wanted to KO my Searcher and then just hitting my leader in order to make me trust cards or whatever. So on the next turn, what I do is I have a docu. I have many cards here that give minus. I prefer here to establish not to play my events here. I could play my events and destroy his characters, but I prefer here to start establishing my board, do a -3, and then use my docu to get rid of his Zoro, and then I keep poking him with my leader, 6 cost, and he counters that. Then I black hole him. He KOs my dog. Okay, you can have it, and we draw a Laboom from the on KO ability of Tokyo, and then what he does is he attacks me with Hisanji. We take, and then he attacks with the leader. And I didn't want to go to get to 1 life. I had more than enough cards in my hand, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I will counter that with the 2 strongers here. I don't need them anyway on my next turn. We draw now. We are at 3, 6, 8 Dawn, and we still need to clear this board. We have drawn our next docu. We have a Laboon, we have a Van Anger. We play a Laboon to the -4 to the Frankie, then we KO it with our docu, then we attach 2 Dawn to the Vancure and attack his Sanji, and with our leader we attack his 1 cost. Then we black hole him, and now we are at the point that in our next turn we start spamming the Blackbeards. He does not have anything here on his field. We have 3 bodies, and we can also start playing our Blackbeards. What he does is he attacks our docu, and we also get to draw a card from him, and he plays a Monkey D. Luffy 10 cost that can do anything. On the next turn, of course, we play our Blackbeard, 10 cost Teats, nullify him, make his Luffy not able to attack, and we start spamming him with attacks, leader and also the 2 characters of ours. Now he's at 2 life, 5 cards, and he has a body on the field that cannot do anything at all, can't attack. Then he decides to attack our Laboon with 14k. That's unfortunate because we can't save it. We have only 2k in our hands, but we don't care because he did that. That means that he invested all of his Dawn to do that, and he didn't play any further body. So on the next turn we can play we can play some more bodies and keep our tits. So what we do is we play another Vanguard. We do a -3. Now he's at -5. Keep in mind when you play against this leader that if he attaches one Dawn to his leader, all of his character have 1+1 cost. So I do -6 to an 11 cost character. He's at 5, and then I can Seagun him and get rid of him. I have a blocker, I have 2 bodies, I have my leader who attacks with 6k. I black hole him, of course. He can't do anything at all here. He's like, okay, you know what, I will attack your Blackbeard with everything that I have. Okay, he can have him. Then I attack him with 7. I attack him then with 9. And of course I attach the rest of the Dawn to my leader. Or I want to do that, but he doesn't have anything left. This was the first game. The second game, he chooses to go first, so we choose to go second here. We're second. We have one of the best first hands that you can possibly have. We draw another dog queue, which is really great. So that means that I have another dog queue, and I don't care. I will play him, and I will get rid of his Law immediately. So he plays his Zoro and he attacks my dog queue. I throw another card. I'm now at 4, and I start building my trust, searching cards. I grab here Jesus. I attack him with 5. He counters. Then I play another dog queue, and say okay. Then I will play states and start building some trust and searching. So I get from my states 1 martial tits, and this is something else that you also should keep in mind every time that you do something like that. With the states, I see that I get to draw 2 martial tits. That means that I play 4 of them, and 1 of them will be sent now to the bottom of my deck. So I have 1 in my hand, and I need to keep in mind that I have 2 more martial tits that I can draw, and the other one is on the bottom of my deck. So he attacks me, I take. He attacks me, I take, and then on the next turn I play, of course, my Vanquir, -3. I get rid of his character to clear the board. I use my states to recycle. I black hole him and attack him. He's now 3 life, 6 cards, and I have some bodies here. So what does he do? He attacks with 9 mine Vanguard, and he kills him, but he leaves my dog there. I'm now at 8 on, and I have 2 Jesuses, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm healthy, 3 life. I will play both of them. I have already begun to build up my trust, and as you can see, the moment I play them on curve 8 on 2 Jesuses, they are at 8 plus 8k, so plus 3k at 8k each, and cannot be KO'd by effects. So they are so strong. I keep poking him, black hole him. I have 2 Titsis waiting for the next turn. and I'm pretty confident here. I keep recycling things with my states and my black hole ability from the leader, and as you can see, the more cards I trust, the stronger Jesus get. So he had to play a Kaido because he couldn't use his ability, and I was like, okay, you know what? Now I will play Tits. I will make your Kaido not able to attack, and I will just start attacking you with 9k, again with 9k, and I have one more Tits waiting for you. And he was like, okay, he's black hole, he has a Kaido that can't do anything, and then he decides to play 2 blockers. And I was like, okay, now I either play another Tits and keep this game for another turn, or I go all in because I have a C gun. And what I do here is I use my C gun to destroy one of his Frankies. Then my Jesuses become immediately 10k. Then I use my leader ability Black Hole and also my stage to recycle more. My Jesuses are plus 6k. They are 11k bodies without any ton investment at all. And this is what I talked about before, how strong this card is and how strong this card gets if you play correctly with your trust. And then of course he can't do anything at all. I have here like Tits 11 11 11. It's a game. It's a game. Or if you don't want 11 11 11, I did here 17, and it was game. And the last one it was again a Mangi Luffy. So I won the dice here, and I chose, of course, to go second. I mulliganed, and I saw the dog Q. I played the dog Q and popped his Trafalgar Law. Then he attacked my dog Q, and I had to deal next turn with Zoro. I'm now at 4 down, and I was like, okay, let's see what I can do here. I have 2 Jesuses. I can either start searching, or you know what? I will poke you with one attack, and then I will start establishing my board here. So he attacks me, I take, I love, the more cards I have, the better. And then I start building up my trust by using my states. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I have Doku, I have Stronger. I will start recycling my cards and destroy your Frankie by using my dog, which is what I do. Now my Jesus is at 7k. My leader can be attached 1 don. So I was like, okay, now you have 6 cards and 3 life. I will attach first one don to the leader and attack your Zoro. And if he took that, so if I managed to kill the Zoro here, then I wouldn't attack with Jesus. I would keep him here. But he did defend that, so I attacked him with Jesus and I killed him. So on the next turn he decides, okay, now I need to get rid of Jesus. He attaches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 don at his leader. He kills my Jesus, and then he plays a Zoro. So then I was like, okay, now I am at 8 don. I either play a Jack, or I recycle Jack and I play Jesus. What I decided here to do is I decided to recycle Jack. I grabbed a Lafine, I searched with Lafitte, I grabbed another, a Van Agur, and then I played Van Agur and killed his Zoro with my Tokyo. So you see, as you can see, I could establish Jesus. I could play a Jack, but then he would still have his Zoro, and I would have like just one body, and my doctor. What I decided here to do is, because on the next turn I know that I will start spamming my teaches to establish a board here, because if he attacks my Van Agur, or he needs to invest some dons, and I will get a card. If he decides to attack my Doku, I will get a card. And Lafitte, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't attack him, even if he. The reason is because if I start spamming 10k Blackbeards, I can't use his ability because he needs +1 don to be activated. But anyway, if he did that, then I would still have a Van Agur character to play. I black hole him, of course, and have 2 teaches in my hand. He decides to kill my dog, and I draw a card, and he establishes 2 cards, 1 blocker and 1 Sanzi. Then of course I attack him first with leader, then with the Van Agur, and then I play my first hits. I freeze his Sanzi, negate his leader, and chill. Then he decides to attack my Van Agur with 6k, and I decide to block because his Sanzi can't attack, and he has 9 don left. His Onami is at 2k, and he can't kill my Blackbeard. So then he plays a Moria, and he leaves 1 don open for like a Gum Giant or something like that. So on the next turn I decide to play another Teats, freeze his Moria, then his leader, and then I keep attacking him here. He sacrifices his blocker, also he counters the rest, and he's now 1 life, 5 cards. He has only 1 character and 1 leader to attack. And what he does is he does a minus. What is he doing here? -3, and then he used his card to bottom deck my active Blackbeard. So he did a -2 or -3 was that with the soldier, 1 leg soldier, then with the Ice Age, and then he used his effect to bottom deck 1 of my teaches. But then the thing is, then he has 5 more don, 5 don plus 5 don to his Sansi. That is 11. That's not enough to kill my teats. And then of course he decides to clear my Van Agur and to attack me, and also play a Sansi. And I was like, okay, now you have a blocker, you have only 1 card left. It's a game. It's a game because I attack him first with my leader. He blocks, and then the rest is history. I attach like 6 don to Lafitte, attack him with 7. He takes, of course, he has only 1 card left and no active dons. And then I finish him off with Blackbeard. So this is it, guys. This was a guide, the in-depth guide. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you would do something else, if you want something specific here, or another deck to cover, or another aspect of this deck, or if you want to see more games of Blackbeard, leave me a like. You can write down on the comments whatever you want, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching.